Definitely brown, majority brown, no black. So what's that, like a 75% toast? I mean, it's pretty high on the toast part.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's just bread.
Sure. Thanks, Arnold.
All right, so you got to have a crunch with toast because you don't want just bread, or then you would just have bread. So it's got to be good and toasted throughout, like a golden brown. And then, yeah, the crunch is the real indicator for me.
I actually do like my toast a little burned. That may be weird. Just like the faintest little bit of like char, if you'll call it that. So if Rob said his is like a 75, I think is what you said, I'd probably do like an 85. I don't want it to be obviously like all char because that's gross, but I definitely like it more like crispier than.
So what's your like number on the toaster? Does your toaster like?
Oh,
I'm like a bagel 3. You know.
So our thing does like 1 through 5, and I put it on 4.
Okay.
So I guess that's 80. If it was out of 100, yeah.
Okay.
Ooh. There's a couple, so I'm trying to figure out which one to talk about. Hidden gem. I'm gonna go with Roller Coaster Tycoon. It's a mid-aught Stern, so most everything from that era, aside from Lord of the Rings and Simpsons Pinball Party, gets overlooked. But it's a pretty fun game. It's a Pat Lawler game, so you got a lot of the Funhouse and Whirlwind and Earthshaker type elements into it, and everybody thinks about the Troll, and that decreases value by about 25% just because of it being on a playfield. But it's a really fun game. A little bit of a mix between like Roadshow and Twilight Zone.
Yeah, so there's a good number of them, I would say, but for me, I'm going Baywatch. Theme-wise, nobody's gonna go near it, but it's fun. Like every time I've come across a Baywatch, I've just had fun shooting on it. Now, maybe I happened to come across ones that were well maintained or really good, or I don't know. That might be a controversial pick. But
it is. It's fine though.
It's what I'm going with.
I'm not as big into pinball as a lot of people are. The one that I ended up buying was Spanish Eyes. Spanish Eyes is, I'm not big into EMs. To me, they're mostly kind of like slow and clunky. But Spanish Eyes, just the fact that it has like the pop bumper kind of in between the flippers and the little gaps under the flippers. Anytime you watch somebody new play that game for the first time, they lose their minds. You're like, what? And then they immediately like go, oh, I get it. And I love that game. It's so fun.
Yeah.
Do they still have sirloin tips? I don't know. I'm thinking of IHOP. I never really ate at Denny's that much.
We don't go to Denny's. You end up at Denny's.
I never ended up at Denny's that much. I ended up at plenty of other late night restaurants, but not Denny's. I'm just going to go with the breakfast order then. It would have to be 2 eggs, fried, cooked medium with some turkey bacon and some hash browns.
I don't know. We were always Village Inn people, and like that's what I remember being around as Village Inn. So they're very similar, though. I'm going breakfast all the way with those places. So, eggs, pancake or 2, and some bacon. Pretty simple.
2 words. Lumberjack Slam.
SNES.
Of all times. Okay, Super Nintendo.
Because it's the best one. It did more with that hardware than I think any other console has ever done. There was all kinds of upgrades, and the jump from NES to SNES was so amazing at the time because you're used to being like, well, which one's better, NES or Genesis? And then all of a sudden the SNES comes and just kicks everybody's asses. And the games library on that has just some tremendous games. If I had like a second, it'd probably be like TurboGrafx 16, but the games by far take the SNES over the top. All the JRPGs that came over for it, and just the Zeldas and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, just By far my favorite system of all time.
Neo Geo, of course, it is the best. No, that, growing up, I would have said Super Nintendo because that's what I had, and that compared to Nintendo or Genesis at the time, a lot of my friends and my cousins had that. Like, I feel like it just didn't hold a candle to gameplay, sound-wise, everything. But obviously, Neo Geo is going to be number one. And now, years later, being able to play it on a consistent basis, we'll stick with that.
So I'm a little different than you guys. I actually didn't have a Super Nintendo growing up, so I don't have the attachment to it. Like in hindsight, it's fantastic. But
Sorry about that.
no, it's fine. My neighbors had it, so like I got to play it as much as if I did have it. But growing up, I did have like a Genesis and a 32X and a Sega CD. I was like a Sega kid. But mine, believe it or not, is actually going to be the NES. As a lot of listeners know, I'm a huge NES collector. But there's just something about like to me, that's like when games first got like character, and they kind of have like, you could paint the characters have emotions, and it was like kind of like a different thing. So I've always loved the NES, and that'd be my answer.
Awesome.
And hopefully we don't have background noise, dickhead.